The plane broke through the clouds, and for a moment it felt as if I was entering another world entirely, a place where the horizon stretched on forever, unbroken and wild. Below me, Mongolia revealed itself, a vast, wild tapestry of green and gold, painted by the rising sun. The land seemed to breathe, alive with promise and mystery. For years I dreamed of this place, of freedom, adventure, and a way of life nearly lost to time. Mongolia had always called to me, a distant echo of something pure and untamed. My journey would be funded by just $800, a challenge but also a promise of authenticity. Every decision would matter, every experience would be earned, not bought. This wasn't about luxury or ticking off tourist checklists. I wanted to strip away the layers and find the Mongolia that exists beyond postcards and travel blogs. I wanted to ride horses across the endless plains, feeling the wind in my face and the earth beneath me, just as nomads have for centuries. I longed to share salty milk tea in a stranger's jur, to sit cross-legged on felt carpets and listen to stories told in a language I barely understood. And at night, I wanted to sleep beneath a sky ablaze with stars, the Milky Way arching overhead, reminding me how small and lucky I was to be here. The stories of nomadic families and their deep connection to the land had always captivated me. Their resilience, their traditions, their ability to thrive in such a harsh yet beautiful environment, it was all part of the dream. I wanted to experience life measured by sunrises and migrations, not by clocks or deadlines. To wake with the dawn and move with the rhythm of the land. Every guidebook warned of challenges, rough roads, language barriers, unpredictable weather, and the sheer remoteness of it all. The sheer scale of the country was daunting, endless steppe, distant mountains, and a sense of space that made you feel both free and small. But the same guides whispered of genuine hospitality, of strangers who would welcome you as a friend, and of moments of connection that would stay with you forever. And then, there were the landscapes, deserts, mountains, and grasslands that humble the soul and ignite the imagination. In 2025, Mongolia's new visa-free policies and affordable flights made this dream more accessible than ever before, opening the door for travelers like me. My budget would be my filter, stripping away the tourist trappings for something real. I wanted to travel light, to carry only what I needed, and to let the journey shape me. Landing at Chinggis Khan International Airport, I breathed in the crisp air, feeling a surge of excitement and possibility. This was the start of something unforgettable. The steppe was calling, its vastness promising adventure, and I was finally ready to answer. $800 for 10 days in Mongolia sounds impossible, especially when you imagine the vastness of the steppe, the remoteness of the countryside, and the legendary adventures that await. Most people assume you need a fortune to explore this wild land, but the truth is, you can experience Mongolia's magic on a surprisingly modest budget. With a bit of local know-how and a willingness to embrace the unexpected, $800 is more than enough to unlock a truly authentic journey. The key is to travel like a local, not a tourist. The secret? Stay in jur camps with nomadic families. These traditional felt tents offer not just a place to sleep, but a window into Mongolia's ancient way of life. For just $20 to $30 a night, you'll get a cozy bed, 2 hearty home-cooked meals, and a chance to share stories with your hosts. It's a cultural immersion that's impossible to find in a hotel. In Ulaanbaatar, hostels are even more budget-friendly, perfect for your first and last nights in the city. You'll meet fellow travelers, swap tips, and maybe even find companions for your next adventure. When it comes to food, skip the touristy restaurants and dive into the local scene. Eat at bustling markets and humble Guan's canteens, where you'll find steaming plates of booze dumplings, savory soups, and fresh bread for just a few dollars. For $10 to $15 a day, you'll eat like a king, sampling flavors you've never tried before, and sharing laughter with locals over simple, delicious meals. Getting around is part of the adventure. Travel by shared vans and buses. These rides might be long and bumpy, but they're authentic, affordable, and a great way to see the real Mongolia. You'll share stories with fellow passengers and watch the landscape unfold mile by mile, all for a fraction of the cost of private tours. Let's break down the budget. $250 for accommodation, $150 for food, $200 for transport, leaving you with $200 for activities, entrance fees, and those irresistible souvenirs. That means you can enjoy horseback riding, visit monasteries, pick up handmade crafts, and even catch a folk dance performance, all without breaking the bank. This isn't just about saving money, it's about forging deeper connections, making friends and collecting stories you'll remember for a lifetime. You'll be challenged to engage, to be resourceful, and to accept the legendary hospitality of Mongolia, where strangers quickly become friends and every day brings a new adventure. On a shoestring, you'll discover that the real reward isn't just seeing Mongolia, it's truly experiencing it and realizing that the impossible is absolutely possible. Ulaanbaatar is a city of contrasts, Soviet blocks, glass towers, and ancient monasteries side by side. My budget led me to explore on foot, discovering hidden gems and the spiritual heart of the city at Gandan Kiid Monastery. The scent of incense and the hum of chanting monks revealed a deep spiritual core beneath the city's modern surface. For a small fee, the National Museum of Mongolia offered a crash course in the country's epic history and nomadic culture. Evenings in a cozy hostel meant swapping tips and stories with fellow travelers. Ulaanbaatar wasn't just a gateway, it was a vital chapter full of history, spirituality, and anticipation. Here, I acclimatized, learned, and prepared for the wilds beyond. The city set the stage for the adventure to come. Leaving Ulaanbaatar, I caught a shared van to Gorky Terelj National Park, a world away from the city. The landscape shifted to rolling hills, granite outcrops, and the iconic Turtle Rock. Hiking the park's trails, I found peace in the wind and birdsong, the entrance fee a small price for such majesty. My first Jur camp stay awaited, a cluster of white tents in a green valley, run by a welcoming family. Inside, the Jur was simple but warm, the fire crackling as night fell. Stepping outside, I was stunned by a sky ablaze with stars, the Milky Way stretching from horizon to horizon. The silence and grandeur were humbling. Here, the wildness of Mongolia truly began to work its magic. The city felt a world away, the adventure was real. I was no longer a tourist, I was a guest of the steppe. My journey into the wild had begun. Waking in a Jur, sunlight streaming through the tunnel, I felt the magic of nomadic life. The air was scented with wood smoke and felt, the family already busy with morning chores. Life here is communal, no walls, just togetherness and tradition. I learned the customs: enter with your right foot, move clockwise, never lean on the columns. Meals were simple but rich, salty milk tea, arul, fresh bread, and hearty stews. Despite the language barrier, we shared smiles, gestures, and gratitude. Evenings brought stories and laughter around the fire, bridging worlds with curiosity and warmth. In these moments, I was more than a visitor. I was part of the family. The Jur was not just a shelter but the heart of a way of life. Minimalism, connection, and hospitality defined every day. Life with nomads is shaped by the needs of their animals. At sunrise, I joined the family to milk yaks, awkward at first, but rewarding. Riding Mongolian horses across the steppe, I felt a freedom and connection to the land I'd never known. I helped churn milk, watched arul being made, and tried my hand at traditional archery. Every task was a lesson in skill, resilience, and resourcefulness. Nothing is wasted. Every part of the animal and land is used. The family's self-sufficiency was inspiring, a sustainable life in harmony with nature. These weren't tourist activities but real lessons in survival and community. I gained a deep respect for their ingenuity and strength. Living alongside them, I learned what it means to truly belong to the land. The steppe became my classroom, and the nomads my teachers. My journey south led to the legendary Gobi Desert, a place of surprising diversity. The landscape shifted from grasslands to the towering singing dunes of Kongur and Els. Climbing the dunes was exhausting, but the view, golden waves under a setting sun, was unforgettable. I rode a Bactrian camel with a local herder, moving slowly through the silence of the desert. The Gobi's vastness made me feel small, but alive. Nights in a Jur camp at the dune's edge brought a sky even clearer than the steppes. Lying on the sand, I watched meteors streak across a sea of stars. The desert was not empty but full of life, history, and beauty. Here, the earth and sky whispered their secrets. I felt incredibly lucky to listen. Budget travel in Mongolia demands planning and flexibility. Visit from May to September for the best weather and vibrant festivals. Pack layers. Days are warm, nights can be freezing even in summer. Connectivity is limited outside Ulaanbaatar. Buy a local SIM but embrace the digital detox. Bring a power bank for your camera. These landscapes demand to be captured. Respect local customs, ask before photos, never step on a gyr threshold, and always accept food or drink with your right hand. Learn a few Mongolian phrases. Simple hellos and thank yous go a long way. Expect the unexpected. Rough roads, delays, and surprises are part of the adventure. Carry a first aid kit, water filter, and extra snacks. With patience and humor, every challenge becomes a story worth telling. As my 10 days in Mongolia drew to a close, I found myself sitting quietly in my hostel, my heart overflowing with memories and emotions I hadn't expected to find. My wallet was empty, the last of my $800 spent, but what I gained was worth so much more than money could ever buy. That money didn't just pay for bus tickets, meals, or a place to sleep, it bought me a transformation I never saw coming. I had arrived as a tourist, eager to see new sights and collect stories, but I left with a profound connection to Mongolia's vast land and its warm, resilient people. The nomads welcomed me into their homes and lives with a generosity that was humbling, and their resilience in the face of harsh conditions taught me the true beauty of simplicity, hard work, and community. Living on a tight budget forced me to be creative and resourceful, to find joy in small things, and to open myself up to new experiences I might have otherwise missed. It led to laughter-filled van rides with strangers who quickly became friends, and to moments of connection that transcended language and culture. There were unforgettable nights spent under a sky ablaze with stars, sharing stories and songs around a campfire, realizing that true riches are found not in possessions, but in human connection and shared wonder. Standing in awe of Mongolia's endless horizons, I discovered a new sense of gratitude and humility. I learned as much about myself, my strengths, my fears, my capacity for joy and adaptation, as I did about this remarkable country and its people. If you're hesitating because of logistics or money, don't let those things hold you back. Go with an open heart, a willingness to adapt, and a spirit ready for adventure. Embrace the unknown, let the steppe challenge you, and allow yourself to be inspired by its wild beauty and the kindness of its people. Mongolia will leave a mark on your soul, a quiet reminder of the power of travel to change us in ways we never expect. As I watched the Mongolian landscape fade from my airplane window, I realized I was leaving a piece of myself behind under that eternal blue sky. Mongolia had changed me forever, and I knew I would carry its lessons and memories with me wherever I go.